So, today we're going to go through something. I haven't decided yet. So therefore I'm just going to go here. We're just, not going to care about the intro today. It is what it is. It is fine. So I don't know. As you can see, I am on the Nate Eliason. I hope that I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm probably not, so I'm sorry for that site. And yeah, because I have seen that I'm only having like half an hour left till my phone call, I think we're indeed going to go through some aphorisms. I think that's a good thing. But the question now is, whom should we cover? Aphorisms thought by Napoleon, which could be nice, Maxims and Reflections by Goethe. The Art of Worldly Wisdom by Balthasar Gracian. Different parts speak to is the echoes of Stoicism. I think I'm going to go for Goethe, just because I haven't gone through anything about Goethe up to this point. Goethe, by the way, it's Ö. It's not whatever, it's Goethe. Well, anyway, a book of aphorisms that is a useful tool for sparking your own clear thoughts, which is always a nice thing. Have your own clear thoughts. And clear thinking per se is a really cool and important thing. So think about that. Heavily think about that. Yeah. And I actually gotta have to hurry up a tiny little bit. We suffer people to tell us about our shortcomings. We condone punishment. We patiently endure a good deal on their account, but we are impatient when we are urgent to discard them. True thing. Even though I don't fully get it, but I think about something specific. Let's just talk about clear thinking and whatnot. It is the way of the world to accept a person as he presents himself, but he does have to present himself. He would rather tolerate a difficult person than suffer one who is insignificant. We are never further away from our desires than we imagine we possess what we desire, which is interesting, which I think in the end you can boil it down to, okay, you don't need what you're aspiring, or what you want to desire, or what you're desiring and whatnot, especially when it is about something materialistic, or only when it is about something materialistic. A person has only to say he is free and he immediately feels constrained. If he has the courage to say he is constrained, then he feels free. And it is about saying it, or thinking it, saying it. Both, actually thinking and then saying, of course, which is a cool thing. So just think that you're free and you are free. Think that you are hurt and you are hurt, which is something that's very stoic. But I believe in it. I really believe in it. Certain books are apparently... If a person is to achieve all that others demand of him, he must consider himself more than he actually is. Certain books are apparently written not so that we may learn from them, but to demonstrate the fact that the author knew something. Oh my god. But yes, I would say so, and I wouldn't necessarily say that it is only the case for books. Probably also with a ton of other things. Well, yeah. Certain books are apparently, of course. Let's just take it once again, The greatest respect an author can have for his public is never to produce what is expected, but what he himself considers right and useful for whatever stage of intellectual development has been reached by himself and others. Anyone who doesn't know foreign languages knows nothing of his own. Anyone who doesn't know foreign languages knows nothing of his own. Language? But I gotta have to say, there is a ton of parallels between German and English, which is something that I truly enjoy, like Angst and Zeitgeist and Doppelgänger and Kindergarten. All those things are the exact same words, but of course, structures may not be the same, no? I think not. But I think it's still interesting. I think you can still learn one language by learning another language. Or you can, I think, develop your mother tongue by developing another language. Even though, of course, I would actually say that my German worsened just because I'm only doing things in English. So, we also gotta have to think about that. You gotta have to think about that. Some people keep knocking at the wall with a hammer and imagine they're hitting the nail on the head every time. A state of affairs which leads to daily vexations is not the right state. What is a vexation? Irritation, irritability, rage, fury, whatnot. So a state of affairs. Yes, it's not good. Don't do that. When the rainbow has lasted as long as a quarter of an hour, we stop looking at it. Yes, it's indeed the case. And it is the case with a lot of things, or for a lot of things that we think are amazing or are supernatural or are whatever they might be. And it is something to think about, and it is something to consider, and it is something to really have a look at, I would say. That, okay, it's been there for years and months and whatnot, so it's not that of a nice thing anymore. It's not that of an interesting thing anymore. Bonus vir sempre tiro. A good man is always a beginner. I think it is Italian. Bonus vir sempre. Because always. Is it sempre? I'm actually quite unsure. Tiro. It might also be Latin. I think it is Latin, more or less. Or it is French. Let's actually translate it. Or let's Google it. Let's put it like this. The first thing is probably going to be like, okay, this is by Goethe. Latin. Yeah, it is Latin. A good man is always a beginner in a lot of things, and it is actually the case. How can we learn self-knowledge? Never by taking thought, but rather by action. Try to do your duty and you will soon discover what you are like. Yes. Try out things, do things, and you will see what you like. You will see what you enjoy. You will see what you are good at. You will see what other people are good at. You will see how to do things in a better way, which you can then translate into other areas of your life, which is an amazingly nice thing. And all sorts of different things. Like there is a lot of fucking things that you could be doing and you could be having a look at. How can we learn self-knowledge? And I've read that, yes. The longer I live, the more depressing I find the spectacle of a man whose optimal function is to be a lord over nature so as to free himself and his fellow man from tyrannical necessity, doing the exact opposite of what he really wants to do, and all because of some preconceived false notion. And in the end, because the structure of the project as a whole has been ruined, he just muddles on miserably with odd details. If I've understood correctly, it is about like not doing the thing that you should be doing, or not doing the thing that you're maybe supposed to be doing, but rather just doing something and then fiddling around with the fucking details and shit. Don't do that. Do stuff that is mattering to you. Do stuff that you appreciate. Tell me with whom you consort and I will tell you who you are. If I know who you spend your time with, then I know what might become of you. And it is definitely the case, and this is also one of the reasons why I thought about it. I thought about, do I surround myself with people that are better than me? And yes, I do. At this point in time, to a relatively high degree, I do. Especially when it is about like, I don't know, school stuff in general. But this, not only. I do not want to boil it down to that because this is also some kind of an insult, quite to be honest. You're only good at school. It's nothing basically. But it's not the case. But I've seen that, and I'm actually pretty grateful about that. That it is not like just the opposite side or vice versa thing or whatnot. Yeah, it is what it is. Nothing is more disagreeable than a majority, for it consists of a few powerful people in the lead, rogues who are adaptable, weak people who assimilate with the rest, and the crowd that trundles along behind without the slightest notion of what it's after. It is something pretty interesting, because nothing is more, I'm willing to repeat it once again, nothing is more indisagreeable than a majority, for it consists of a few powerful people in the lead, yes, rogues who are adaptable, weak people, and this is the most important part for me there, weak people who assimilate with the rest and the crowd that trundles along behind. That assimilates, does this mean just following and just doing what others are doing? Absorb, with the rest. Yes, don't be that person. Don't be the person that is doing stuff just because other people are doing it. And it's a very broad thing to say, and I know that, but you know what I mean. I know that you're smart enough to understand what I'm referring to. Like, I don't know, it's not about not using social media because everyone is doing that. It's not my point. My point is, I don't know, like eating something just because other people are eating it. Why? Just develop and form your own opinion on things. And I think this is also greatly done by getting information and by informing yourself and seeing what things are like. So yeah, the greatest thing about the Asians, so not Asians, but Asians, do I actually pronounce it correctly? Well, Especially the Socratic school is that they set before us the source and guidelines of all life and action, not for the purpose of idle speculation, but as a call to live and deeds, or life and deeds. Knowledge is not enough, we have to apply it. Wanting is not enough, there has to be action. And this is an amazing one, I love that. And the funny thing is, it's still something that a lot of people are talking about nowadays. And I think we're always going to repeat ourselves. As history is repeating itself, we are also always going to repeat ourselves. I've just got a message there somewhere, I guess. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. Or not. It might have been. I don't know what it's been. I'm, by the way, very sorry for checking, but I know I'm actually pretty dumb for doing it right now, the recording. Because I don't know, I could have just really enjoyed the time and just doing something and whatnot, but now I'm just pushing myself to do it in a good way and stuff, so... Oh, it's actually... I thought that it is a long one. Well... Nothing in the world except health and virtue is more to be treasured than knowledge and learning, nor is anything so easily attained and so cheap to acquire. All you have to do is to be still, and all you have to spend is time, something we cannot save in any other way than by spanning it. This is fucking amazing. Something we cannot save in any other way than by spanning it. This is really an amazing thing because it's the case. You can't save time, but you can only save time by spending it on the right things. Because then it is not wasted time. So I think, the only thing that you actually can do is just not waste time. Yeah. Which you then could say like, okay, you can invest it just in a good way. But yeah, anyway. Many ideas appear only quite gradually, like flowers opening out among the greenery of the branches. When roses are in the season, one sees roses in bloom everywhere. In the spring and autumn, one doesn't easily think about a fire on the hearth. And yet, if we happen to see one in passing, we find the feeling it gives us to be pleasant that we want to linger. This might be seen as analogous to any temptation. I don't get the last one, but the other one, this one is interesting. Many ideas appear only quite gradually, like flowers opening out among the greenery of the branches. When roses are in the season, one sees roses in bloom everywhere. Like, there's a lot of things that I now think about. Like, first of all, if you're having something, if you're dealing with something, then, I thought about it. It's been WhatsApp, not any other stuff. If you're having something, then you're probably going to see it more often on other people just because you're having it, which is a funny thing, which is, by the way, also incorporated into GTA. I at least guess. I don't really think that this is a psychological just thing, but I think they also did that. I actually gotta have to check that. Because once you have a car, you suddenly see this car everywhere. Every fucking where. And this can't be the fucking case. Really can't. Especially when it is like a really high degree special car you only find in certain places. Then what's the point? It's interesting. But it's apparently also the case in real life that once you have something, you're probably going to see it more often on other people because you maybe look out for it more. Especially when it is something that you really appreciate, I guess. So yeah, this is it with this one. And also something that I've thought about as well is just ideas. If you're having an idea, then just because he's also talking about ideas, then and I think it's not always a good thing or a good idea to just take things literally, because it's not the case. I mean, it's some sort of poetry, it's some sort of metaphors and what's the other thing, which is a really cool one, metonymies, I think. I hope that they're pronounced in that way. I don't actually know. But let's actually have a look at some other shit as well. I do want to have, because I'm having like 3 minutes left or just a little bit more. Should always be fine. It's 11:17 and 11:30. I gotta have to be ready. Seeking Wisdom by Peter Bevelin. No. We're gonna go to the aphorisms. Maybe we're gonna go for moral sayings of Publius Cyrus. But I'm gonna start from the end. Or should I? No, I don't. The moral saying is a collection of aphorisms. You'll find different ones you enjoy on different read-throughs, but here are my favorites. And because I went through it already, I'm actually going to go from the bottom to the top. I have often regretted my speech, never my silence. Which is a contradicting thing, in some way, in the following way. We regret those things that we didn't do, being silent is not doing something. But of course, you can build things and sentences and words and structure of language in such a way that you will always be like, okay, I regret what I did, and I regret what I didn't do, and I regret whatever. The thing is, if you don't do something, then there's something to regret. You haven't even tried it. If you have tried it, then of course you could be like, I regret doing this. Yeah, but no. It's often the case, and there's also a book about it, I don't remember the name, which is about the biggest regrets, and the biggest regret was, as far as I can remember at least, that you, well, I think it's actually not living your life as you wanted it to live, but something that is incorporated in there. I think it's definitely been a summary that I've read, and there's, there was something about like not doing the things that you would have liked to do, so not doing the thing was just so regretful, and yeah. You should not lead one life in private and another in public. This is a pretty cool one. He would subdue his temper, vanquishing his greatest enemy. A lot of words that I don't understand, so yeah. He who conquers his passion is a man of more nerve than he who subdues the enemy. What does subdue mean? He said to them, blah, 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 conquer, defeat, I see. He who conquers his temper vanquishes his greatest enemy. Yes. The poor man is ruined as soon as he begins to ape the rich. It is folly for him to rule over those who cannot govern himself. It is folly to punish your neighbor by fire when you live next door. Yes, it's a fucking dumb idea. It is foolish to complain of the misfortunes which have come to pass through your own fault. Yes, it's kind of the truth. Fools stand in dread of fortune, wise man bad. Glory is apt to follow when industry has prepared the road. The greatest of empires is the empire over oneself. If you're a mariner, let landsman business alone. Which by the way is a good advice. Just don't interfere with anybody if you just don't know any fucking shit about whatever they're doing. Of course, we all have opinions. Of course, we all just know things. We seem to know things, but no, we don't. We clearly don't. But yeah, I'm unfortunately gonna end the episode there. Maybe I'm gonna record a third time, because today is a non-workout day. So I just have 1.5 hours to 2 hours actually of more time, which I am a little tiny bit struggling with just using in a good way. I mean, I could use it in a way of just, okay, I'm just gonna rest and stuff. But yeah, the question of today is, could you be doing something to really make somebody else's life better? And why don't you do it, if you could? Well. And with that being said, I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to rise and you're going to be remembered. Basically means your legacy basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which is always a good thing. 3 other questions that I'm having for you are, why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? Yeah. What is it? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is kind of the optimal thing that could be happening. Just both things. Not one of them, but both. But at least I hope purpose, because this is a really great one, as also, or as it was also figured out, quote unquote, by Viktor Frankl and him being in a concentration camp. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I'm hopefully going to see you the next time.